This is the Ned and Josh podcast.
Injured in the workplace? Call John Little at Malagana's Edwards Johnson.
Hit 104.7.
Ned, I just feel like I'm going to really make myself sound like Scrooge here, but I feel like...
McDuck or Ebenezer?
Well, I don't have enough money to be McDuck.
Yeah. Well, Ebenezer was super rich as well.
Yeah, but like
Not as
Victorian era rich.
Yeah.
I think I could probably be that rich.
I'd say I think you're more of a McDuck than an Ebenezer because McDuck at least is kind of goofy and he's sometimes funny.
But my point is, like I just watched Downton Abbey and they're talking about like $100 being like $1 million.
Yeah,
so I think I could probably be rich back in the day. If I could take my money now back, I'd be like a millionaire.
You'd be the richest man in the world.
It'd be amazing.
You're rich. You just have to go further back.
That's why I'm saying I'm more Ebenezer. But anyway, point is, I saw something last week on social media that I think we're done with this joke.
Okay.
And I think it's not that funny anymore. And I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I'm just going to say it.
Be brave and share.
I will. Co-workers wearing the same clothes to work is not funny. It's barely even notable.
Yeah.
It's just whatever. I saw Chrissy and Mick put up last week.
Yeah, two people we work with.
That,
they were wearing the same. Pretty much.
Oh, no, it was Ellie and Mick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Ellie and Mick.
Ellie and Mick.
But yeah, they were essentially, I think they were wearing like the same colour blue jeans, the same kind of cream shirt, and I think they had the same shoes on.
I must admit, in credit to
very similar.
Everybody, because Ellie and Chrissy are always together, so I'm sure Chrissy would have taken the photos. So she's involved in this, so don't you worry about it. But I saw it and went like this. I went, huh, that was it.
Well, but then
there were three more photos after that.
Yeah,
and I was like,
excited.
we're carrying on now. This isn't funny. Mm-hmm. And I just think around offices all around the world, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Is this still funny? Am I being a party pooper and I just don't get on board because I'm a grumpy old man?
Yeah.
Or is this actually not that funny anymore? Because you and I wear very similar clothes all the time.
No, I know.
And people always comment on it.
Yeah, I know.
And so maybe that's why I hate this as a concept, because I'm sick of hearing about it.
Yeah. I don't think, you know what's so funny? I don't think, first of all, this doesn't matter. So
of course not. No,
it shouldn't even be popping up on your radar.
I just want to know whether or not I'm a party pooper.
But
that's the only part that matters.
Your reaction of like, that's it. That's all it needs.
Yes, all it
needs. That's all that anyone's going for. No one's going to like stop in their tracks and go, stop.
But people do.
Everyone stop.
They do it to us.
These two people are dressed kind of the same way.
The only way this came about is because somebody in the office would have done that, and then they've gone, you've got to take a photo, and now here we're at. So we need to eliminate this initial, stop, look at this.
Yeah.
Because it's not...
I think it's funny. I like it. I really like it.
So
I think it's great.
I am carrying on.
When you get a guy-girl duo, that's great. When you get any kind of combination, I love it. So I'm not on the same side as you as this, but at the same time, I'm saying it requires such a little commitment or such a little reaction that it shouldn't even be popping up on your radar.
Fine, carry on with acknowledging. I am carrying on, but carry on, everybody, with acknowledging when your co-workers are wearing similar clothes.
What's your favourite in-office joke then?
I don't have any.
You don't have any?
That might just be a general certain negativity towards. Anyway,
I think we're maybe finding how. Let's burrow down on that a little bit further. We'll get to the root of the cause.
The fun thing here is actually, if you want to take anything away from the last 4 minutes, think about how rich you would have been in the olden days. That's a really fun thing to think about.
This is the Ned and Josh podcast. Hit 104.7.
Josh, over the last week, I went to a party and I saw a party trick, and usually party tricks are like maybe a magic trick, maybe you can, I don't know, break dance or whatever, you can do a backflip.
You go to, when we have holidays, when you go to parties, you often tell stories like this, and so I'm starting to picture the parties you go to as like medieval fairs, where there's like a stall, if there's people doing magic over here, or there's somebody juggling over there, whereas I just go to parties and people just sit around and drink and talk.
I go to parties exclusively with contortionists and
it's amazing.
Acrobats.
It's incredible.
No, well, that's what I mean. It's always exciting going to a party because you never know what you're going to see. And this party, I saw a party trick that should be impressive. On paper is impressive, but whilst I was watching it, I was like, this is gross. This is foul.
Some of the best party tricks actually are pretty gross.
Yeah,
when you actually think about them. You're like,
anytime someone's double jointed and they're like, watch this, and then they look like they essentially snap their arm in front of you. You're like, why do I need to see that? And how do you know that you can do that? When was the first time you're like, oh my God, my arm's not broken? I guess I can just do this now.
And they did break it and just got over the pain.
They're like,
it's just always permanent. Like,
it's just really floppy. No, this trick was not involving breaking arms. It was a guy who I saw open a can of beer with his feet.
Yeah, right.
Like used his toe to like crack the can, like the tab in.
Yeah.
It was so impressive. Honestly, it was pretty impressive.
Toenail or toe?
Toe. Not well. I mean, I'm imagining
You get the
nail.
leverage. You get the leverage.
The nail, well, I'm sure, played into it a little bit, which is kind of why I'm saying it's kind of gross. When you think about it for more than 5 seconds,
you pour that
like,
into a glass afterwards.
Yeah.
You don't drink straight out of the can.
I can confirm no one drank it afterwards.
Good.
Everyone was like, oh, cool. I don't want
tinnier of my mouth.
If you would like to drink the beer, you are the only person who at this party will drink the beer.
It pairs well with toe jam.
Gotta hope so. But that's it. I was like, that's really, really impressive. And I was kind of jealous that, like, his body is somewhat of a Swiss Army knife. It's like, look, you're meant to be able to do it with your fingers, and that's kind of it. That's how they design them. I don't think anyone at beer canning companies were like, oh, we've figured it out. We've cracked the case. Now people can finally do it with their toes. I would love to know on 131060. And look, this may be a long shot because this is, once again, one of the weirdest things I've seen at a party. But can you do something with your body that's kind of like a party trick? Like, can you use a different part of your body as a bottle opener?
Oh, yeah.
Can you? I don't know. I honestly don't know what these will be, so you'll have to call up on 131060 and let us know.
Show us the way.
And I also understand that this is incredibly vague and pretty hard to identify, but does your body double as something? Can you use your body for something else?
Yeah, I look like Ryan Reynolds. I literally am a body double.
That would be incredible.
Get on the phone. We'd love to hear from you.
Not going to be great for radio because there's no way to check that, but get on the phone, 131060. Can you just do something with your body that's pretty impressive?
Yeah, I think opening beers is going to be one of the big ticket items.
Honestly,
you'd have to imagine.
I tell you what will be impressive and what will top it, if you can open a twist-off bottle with your feet. That will be more impressive than opening a can, because at least you got the tab, and once you crack the tab, it's fine.
Daniel Day-Lewis in that movie where he painted with his feet? I wonder if he's a great actor. He probably can do it.
Put it to him.
You're listening to the Ned and Josh podcast. Hit 104.7.
As far as Australia's Got Talent goes, probably wouldn't make it through.
I don't think any of the judges would be impressed.
In person, incredible.
Oh, exactly right.
Dylan's on the line from Wanniassa. How are you, Dylan?
Hey, fellas, how you going?
Yeah,
Not
good,
too
thank you,
bad,
mate.
Dylan.
Now, is there something you can do that's a bit of a go-to party trick that involves your body?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, look, I can make beer disappear.
Mate, I have that skill as well. Is there any particular amazing way you do this, or?
Yeah, mate. 19th birthday it was. I got a video of me doing a jug in 7 seconds.
Oh my god!
You've got to like.
Oh my god!
But here's the thing. Okay, so obviously not good in any kind of way,
very
Dylan.
much for drink responsibly.
But putting that much liquid into your body that quick, I can't imagine has got to be good. Even if it was water, I don't think that's a good thing.
Can I ask you a quick question, Dylan? How quickly did the liquid reappear after you made it disappear?
Yeah, almost instant.
Oh,
Yeah, of course. It's a sign of a good magician.
This is the Ned and Josh podcast. Hit 104.7.
Josh, about 15 minutes ago, I was talking about a phrase that I heard last week that 18 months ago, if someone had said that, I'd be like, what are you talking about? Now, didn't even pop up on my radar. And it involves masks.
So
now,
what was the phrase?
The phrase, well, Canberra's just come out of the mask mandate that ended on Friday, which honestly I was so impressed with. You and I were just talking about it before, like the fact that the second that it was done off, the second that they're like, yep, back on, they're straight back on. Canberra doesn't miss a beat when it comes to information, and
Flawless.
it shows.
Flawless.
What was it? We haven't had a community transmission in over a year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is so impressive, especially with how close we are to other major cities. I am really impressed with Canberra. The mask problem is everyone in the beginning, I think, was just getting the clinical masks, the medical masks, whatever. You use them once, you throw them away.
Cotton masks.
Now everyone's being a little bit fancy.
Yeah,
I'm seeing on Etsy people are putting in a lot of effort. I'm really, really enjoying seeing people
I'm worried about
the creative outlets.
I do worry about some of the masks I see because at the end of the day, it is where you breathe from, and there's a lot of paint being involved in some of them. I'm like, you know what? Be careful with the amount of decorating.
Exactly right. Everyone be very careful with your arts and crafts because it is right on your mouth.
Yeah.
I was speaking to a friend, and I can't remember. I think he was just telling me about what his week was consisting of. But he said the phrase to me, I've just done a load of masks.
Oh, that is a very pandemic phrase.
He's buying cloth masks, and obviously you have to wash them because they get dirty. You're wearing them on your face all the time. He said, I had to do a load of masks.
I had a friend say that to me last week. You just wash them. Didn't say do a load of masks, but they're like, you just put them through the wash. I'm like, I never thought of that.
It's so bizarre because that's it. It didn't even, I wasn't even like, oh, that's a great idea. I literally was like, yep, not only does like washing a mask in a washing machine, that's now normal.
Yep.
You would own so many masks that you would have to do an entire load of them.
A load of masks.
None of that popped up on my radar because I've been changed fundamentally.
We need to get the pandemic under control better than we have before washing machines actually come with a mask function.
This is what I'm actually worried
I don't
about.
want that. I don't want that.
I don't want us to adapt to this stuff because this is it. I'm hearing phrases, I'm hearing sayings that aren't normal.
They're going to make
because of the
sense
world
to
we
you.
live in,
Yeah.
it's just I have to embrace them. I have to go, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
that just
'cause
means that.
It does. Yeah. Maybe bank robbers used to be able to be like,
I did a load of masks.
I
skiers and bank robbers.
Yeah, I just am impressed. As I said, though, you're right. This is all becoming too
I don't
norm.
like it.
But Canberra's been so impressive, and it's been amazing to watch everybody just get on with what they had to do. You weren't here, but on Saturday, the day we were allowed to take them off,
After Friday.
everyone just got it.
Of course.
They were like, yeah, freedom.
Yeah,
Face freedom again. It was amazing how quickly information we are listening and acting on info we get.
I will say, I think you pay more attention to when you can take them off.
Yeah.
Than when you can put them on. That being said, we still did it the same day,
No,
but I would
Canberra's-
imagine that once you heard, I heard about it in Tasmania that it was coming off on Friday, and I went, that's good.
By
No,
the time
that's
you get
that's
back.
nice. That'll
I
be
just
good.
want to say we need to keep doing the right thing because Andrew Barr is doubling down at the
He's
moment.
mad.
He's
He's
almost
pissed.
like an action movie hero. We've called him everything from the barman to
Yeah.
Big Daddy Bar.
Big
but
Daddy Bar.
now he is badass.
Yeah.
A badass bar because what he has done has called out Victoria. Any premier that's shutting state borders, he just said after more than a year without local COVID cases, it's incredibly disappointing and frustrating that state borders are again being shut to Canberrans. And that would have been enough. But the last line is why he's an action movie hero. Canberra is not a part of Greater Sydney. Oh, tremendous stuff.
Big Daddy Bar is pissed.
I am very excited for the eventual Premier showdown that's going to happen at some point in the near future.
This is the Ned and Josh podcast. Hit 104.7.
There's a lady in China who has decided to get back at her ex-boyfriend it doesn't say here whether or not he cheated, but he did leave her for another woman. So she's been a bit jilted by the whole situation, decided petty revenge. That's what the order of the day is now. I'm not condoning that, but at the same time, I think everybody's at least run through a scenario in their mind where they're like, of course, what if I just put something terrible in a mailbox? Or what if I took the batteries out of the remote when I left? Just something petty like that.
To offset anyone thinking this is a good idea, I will say from experience, revenge is never the answer because it never makes you feel any better.
It's not a dish best served cold. It's a dish best not served at all.
It's a dish that is stale and stinky and deserves to be in the bin. Do not go after revenge. It won't give you what you're after.
But having said that, this lady decided the way to get revenge on her ex-boyfriend was to take his car and run through 49 red light cameras.
Okay.
49.
Yeah.
Didn't obviously get the time to round it up to a nice 50 just so that this
Was
was...
she stopped?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
It
she
doesn't
gave
say here. It just says 49 red lights. Now, obviously, red light cameras are just that. They're cameras. So they were able to see that it wasn't him driving the car.
Yeah.
But
It's not a foolproof plan.
you don't get all 49 in one lump fine. You
No.
get 49 individual fines in the
course.
mail, which means that's 49 arguments you now have to have about I wasn't even driving the car. You've got to hope that you could get... At least she's done it all in the same jurisdiction, so you could be like, go to the one fine place
You're like,
and
it's
be like,
obviously not me.
there's going to be 48 other ones of these,
Yeah.
and I'm not driving the car in any of the instances.
Yeah. I think maybe here would be my logic as to why you keep it under the big, under 50 is because I think if it's 50, it looks too neat. It looks too much like
I
it's a
see.
plan.
Yeah.
You keep it at an odd, weird number, and then everyone goes, well, maybe it was the guy.
Maybe 50 triggers some citywide call
It's like,
out
well, no
for your
one's this
number plate.
stupid.
Yeah, it's like as you hit 50, they're like, well, we need to call the police.
yeah.
Someone needs to get this guy off the road. He's now run through 50 red lights.
This guy thinks he's playing GTA. Let's get him off the roads.
Amazing to me, the dedication to find 49 red light cameras and run through all of them.
Also, do you think that she thought this is going to work?
I think she just thought it was going to be a pain in the
She
ass
was just
because
like,
that's what
just-
it is.
yeah.
It's just going to be an annoyance. Like he's going to have to get 49 separate calls to these to the fine place and be like, check the photo, it's
Please
not me.
check,
He's do it 49 times.
If anything, I would be really worried that one of them was me. I would be like, actually, have I ever run through? Because once one of them falls over, like once you actually have driven through one red light, then they start questioning all of them, and then you would probably actually have to start going in and going, not me, no, obviously that's not me.
Unravels
no.
all the other 48. Yeah, I get you. But the thing I would be nervous about if this goes back to her though. She's gotten through 49 red lights without a crash.
Yeah, there should be.
That's almost amazing in a way.
It's impressive, but there also should be something to stop her from doing that.
This is incredibly petty. She should be in Fast and Furious 10. She's managed to pull that off.
You're listening to the Ned and Josh podcast. Hit 104.7.
Josh, I have come into work this morning and I come bearing gifts in the form of great news.
Okay.
Giant pandas have been not great for a while. Mostly because of us, not you and me personally, but
bamboo
people.
Problems, yeah.
Bamboo problems, getting rid of where they live. Also, and look, I will say we deserve 99.5% of the blame, but that 0.5... pandas rarely get it on, and when they do, they have like a litter of 1 or 2 pups.
Yeah, no, they don't like
banging.
Yeah, they really don't. They really don't.
So
panda special cuddles not something they enjoy.
Once again, I will for the human race take 99.5%. But if they just were a little more like rabbits, this wouldn't be a big of a problem.
But imagine how scary that would be.
Yeah, just giant pandas everywhere.
In numbers, comparable to rabbits.
And because they're heavy as, and they seem like the biggest idiots of the animal kingdom because they just fall out of trees, they roll around all the time, they fall down hills, it would be very dangerous.
It'd be terrifying.
They've been endangered for a very, very long time.
I won't go as far as to say we're doing the right thing, but...
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
I'm glad you won't go that far.
If we're going to if the choice is rabbit amount of pandas or the amount we've got, amount we've got, obviously the safer option.
I'm glad you won't go there because I felt bad even not taking the full 100%
of the blame.
Yeah.
No, they need to get it on.
Apparently, well, not apparently, it's official. They're no longer an endangered species.
Oh, that's fantastic.
They've been upgraded to vulnerable. Obviously, it's not great. We're not out of the water, but they're no longer endangered. There are apparently 1,800 giant pandas out and about.
Jeez, that's not enough. Yeah. That's weird that's enough to make them not endangered species
Maybe
anymore.
it's the amount of mass you take up.
Yeah.
So like an ant, for ants to be endangered, there would have to be like, I don't know, 17 trillion of them. Yeah. And then we're like, oh, now we're in trouble. But because pandas take up so much space, like, we can deal with 1,800 pandas.
Maybe that's
fine.
How scientists are doing it.
Yeah, they're like, we've only got so much room in the world.
How many pandas could fit on some temporary scaffolding?
Exactly,
There they are. Yep, no, 1,000 of them. They can support that. Yep, no, fantastic.
You get a boardroom worth of your animals.
Yeah,
so we technically only need 2 elephants, really.
It's still an arc-based system.
Exactly.
Two of each animal.
You can have as many as you can fit in one boardroom, and that's it. Then you're done.
I don't understand a lot of things about the panda stuff, but is this enough to stop showing them panda movies where they see other pandas getting it on?
Panda porn.
We show them panda porn.
Yeah, to get them riled up a little bit.
That's probably one of the weirder things we do as humans. And if aliens came down to the planet, we had to explain that we show animals videos of other animals getting it on to make the animals want to get it on. They'd be like, you guys are weird. Yeah. And I feel like if we can stop doing that, that's just one less thing the aliens have to call us weird about.
That's true, yeah.
So maybe is this enough to stop us from having to do this?
I hope so, but at the same time, maybe this is the only thing that's gotten them out of endangered and not vulnerable.
True, good point. How will
vulnerable
we ever know?
and ready for anything.
God, come on.
Maybe it's a new generation. It's like a baby boom of pandas. Like the new generations are like a little bit. Maybe the ones from say 15 years ago weren't as randy, and now the new ones coming in have been brought up around panda porn and are always thinking about it.
Trying to think of some of the most, like cultural zeitgeist moments for like icons of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We need a panda Baywatch. That's what we need, because ripped guys,
exactly,
amazingly attractive, everybody on the show like that. Yeah. We need a panda Baywatch.
Unfortunately, I'm looking at a photo. There's like a bunch of pandas, obviously, because I'm reading this article. Every panda looks exactly the same.
Yeah, okay.
So if I looked like Pamela Anderson, I wouldn't be as attracted to her.
This is the Ned and Josh podcast. Hit 104.7.
Josh, I think I've had the best business idea of all time. Or I've thought of something that's illegal. So usually the best business ideas come from this. It's like, oh my God, I've thought of the greater business idea. And then the government or the law goes, no, we've thought of that too. And that's actually illegal. You can't do that at all.
Razor's edge.
He does.
That you're dancing on.
Exactly right. As far as I'm concerned, essentially everything that needs to be invented has been invented.
Yeah, probably.
Other than some vaccines and stuff like that. But yeah, most things are pretty much done. So here's my idea. I was on a plane, obviously. I flew home for the holidays. And whilst I was on the plane, I bought chips from like a shop beforehand, like a gift shop. And then I realized, I'm on a plane with a mask on that I can't take off. Yeah. So I'm not going to be able to eat these chips.
No
so
chippies
this
for you.
idea will have to be a post-pandemic idea.
Cool. Yep.
What I thought of, though, was when I was in the gift shop area beforehand buying the chips, they were like I don't know, $4 for a big... I bought a bag of burger rings. It was like $4 for a big bag.
I'd love that to be a price per ring. I wish burger rings were sold that way. On the little price tag, it said per ring.
Yeah, 2 cents per ring. Like, that's how you know exactly how much you're getting. Now, I was like, well, I can't use this. But I started thinking, because I sat down, I had a look at the menu. And also, planes at the moment aren't really serving food at the moment.
Yeah, because you can't eat. You got to have the mask.
You can't, yeah, exactly right. So I had a look at the menu, and I was looking, and I was like, the chips on here, as everyone knows, so expensive. They've got a captive audience. You can't go anywhere. If you want chips, you need to get it from them.
They should change the phrase highway robbery to skyway robbery.
Skyway very good.
Robbery.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah. Skyway robbery always takes place. There's nothing we can do about it. We've just kind of accepted it as a fact.
There's no shop you can duck down to. You're in the sky.
Exactly. Everyone has you in where they want you. Here is where my business idea comes in. Beforehand, you go and buy... And honestly, because you'll have to have it in hand language, so you can't get that many.
Right.
But so you buy 10 packets of chips. On the plane, they're like $7 for a can of Pringles or whatever. You go on with bags of chips that you've bought for $4 that are way more than the ones they even give you on the plane.
Yeah.
You just start... So once the ding, seatbelt, you can walk around the cabin, but we would like you to stay seated. You quickly... before you even get up, you can just survey the people around you. Hey, does anyone want some chips? I've brought some chips. I'll sell them to you for $5.
Oh, wow.
You bought them for $4.
Yeah.
You're making $1 profit. Still $2 under budget. You can just sell chips. Is that allowed? Are you allowed to essentially become a vendor in the sky?
Run your own food service in the plane.
I don't know if this is illegal because I don't know if anyone's thought to
I
do
don't
it
think
before.
anyone's ever tried it.
That's what I mean.
I think it's just the thing, though. Like, obviously, they just whack the seatbelt sign back on and make you sit back down.
Which is fine.
And if you refuse to do that, maybe the pilot just sides the plane a little bit. It makes a bit of turbulence.
Oh, no, I've dropped all my chips.
Oh, no, yeah, you can't stop us from ripping you off with our food.
I can't restock because once again, I'm up in the sky.
Well, how far do you get? Do you get to the point where you carry on? You know, you got like a wheelie carry on potentially.
Yeah.
You can fold that out into a trolley and you start running your own trolley up and down the aisle?
Here is the actual problem. It's got to be an under-the-seat size bag.
Yeah.
So it's kind of small because you don't want to have to be going up and opening up the thing every time. That'll annoy people. Bags might fall out. So you've got to have enough. It's got to be a small enough bag that it can fit under the seat in front of you, but enough to carry enough chips for everyone.
I like it. I don't mind it. I like it. I guess it's only one way to find out whether or not you get into trouble for it. I just enjoy the capitalism on display here because there are some, obviously, what makes a billionaire and a millionaire and all that sort of stuff different from everybody else. I'll tell you, I'll give you an exact money example right now. What'd you say you buy the chips for $4 and sell them for $5?
Yeah.
I'd buy them from Woolies before I got to the airport for like $2 and sell them for $5.
I'm making do with what I've got.
There we go.
This is the Ned and Josh podcast. Hit 104.7.
Hey, at the moment, I am also a little tense with my mum because
that's not good.
There was something that mum has been truly awful since I left home at keeping me up to date with vitally important things to do with the family.
Yeah, okay.
The most grim of which is the story I always tell, which is with my auntie. I got a call once to say, like, great news, she's in remission. And I went, from what?
Yeah.
Mum hadn't told... my auntie went through one of the more harrowing things a person can go through, and I didn't know it was happening.
It was not on the radar for you,
my mum is terrible with keeping me up to date with any kind of family information, and I ask. I'm like, how is everyone?
Of course,
what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I FaceTimed my mum on Saturday, and we had like an hour and a half great... the borders are shut. I can't get over South Australia. We catch up about everything, chat.
Of course.
She's watching The West Wing at the moment, which is my favourite show. So we're getting all kinds of details about all of that, discussing intricate character plots. Got to the point where we're talking about the cat. The cat was on her lap, and the cat's gotten very clingy, and I'm like, might not be long for the world. Cats tend to do that when they're a bit on the way out.
Cats cling to people when they start clinging to life.
Yeah, no, the cat's 15, so I'm like, it could be days numbered. We got to the point where Mum had run out of stuff to say.
I was going to say, it does sound like whilst a nice conversation, there was no pressing issues.
Oh, no.
Nothing was on the schedule.
How much I could tell you it was not was that she took me outside on FaceTime to show me the new chickens. There are new chickens, and I saw them when I went home last, and now they're like double the size they were. And I was like, that's amazing. That's incredible.
Do they look like every single other chicken
ever?
No,
actually, they're different colours to the other chickens, which is incredible.
This is
it was
insane.
actually why I was shown the chickens.
Are they white or brown?
No, they're black.
Oh,
it's incredible.
This actually is
one
incredible.
Of 3 things chickens can be.
Oh, you're underselling this conversation.
It was amazing. And anyway, so after the particular low point of going out and seeing the chickens, I decided it was probably just best to wrap this up. And what happened was we said goodbye. Oh, very nice. About 35 minutes later, I got a text out of the blue from my sister, which I'm just going to read you now. So my sister, my only sibling.
You both live out of state.
Her only other child.
Yeah.
So keep in mind.
You both live away from each other. So honestly, your mum and dad are kind of conduits for news to one another.
Did Mum tell you I may have to have surgery on my hip?
That's not good.
That's the text message. That's the whole text message from my sister. And then I just went ballistic to Kate. I was like, no, what is happening? I'm so worried. Tell me. I called her. I was like, you do it. And then after we found out that it was, this is a thing that, I've got a bit of a pain or whatever, it was probably going to be okay. And we got that fear out of the way. I then went into detail with Kate about how the conversation I'd had with my mum. And Kate went, look, we're just going to need to talk to each other from now on.
It does seem like that,
because Kate's like in a very serious relationship. There could be an engagement announcement eventually, then maybe kids on the way. All this stuff, I'm not going to find about any of it.
One day,
Mum will just be like, have you got your accommodation for the wedding sorted? I'll be like, what wedding?
What did you get your nephew for his birthday? What do you mean?
What's his name?
That was the Ned and Josh podcast.
John Little, your Canberra Region Workers' Compensation Lawyer. MEJ.com.au.
Hit 104.7.